Hey fellas, Rusty coming at you, proudly showing off another Rough Rider find. Yeah, I got this one on eBay, and just kinda always checking to see what's new. And I recognize this knife because I have another Rough Rider in it, and I have some case knives even. This would be a small Swell center jackknife, or a Coke bottle knife, a lot of people call it. I grabbed it because I'm collecting red bone Rough Riders of different patterns. Fantastic fit and finish on this one. I know it's an early one because I grabbed this one somewhere along the ways. So we'll do a comparison after we take a peek at the knife. Got the cursive Rough Rider. It has the anvil, says tested sharp with an RR in there. Excellent walk and talk. Little bit sluggish, but it's got it's like a lazy half stop. I think it'll break in. In fact, I don't even remember if I oiled this one. So let's take a peek here. Yeah, that's satisfactory. Nice pen blade here. Looks to be unsharpened. And these have a bit more brass look to them than your standard nickel silver. So a nice half stop, nice snap, and good blade centering. So we'll get this one out. We'll compare it to this one. I want to say was in 2005, and this is pocket worn, I would say, from carrying. And I did kind of polish this up with some case paste and some wick wax, and I put my own edge on here. You can see how they hold up, because this one was used. If you go back and watch my initial video on this, it was in relatively rough shape. I can tell, like I said, they break in real nice. When I had this one, I seem to remember some bits missing from the edge. I didn't quite sharpen out all of it. Feels pretty sharp here. Do have a video out on that. And well, for comparison, and I paid somewhere like $20-25 after shipping, probably closer to 25. And you can get these. This was case. This Swell center jack was a vault pattern in 2022, I want to say. This is in the Crandall JIG pocket worn, so we'll compare that here in a second. Carbon steel on that. And then I grabbed this one. If you see the original video, this was white bone. It's now mud green, but gorgeous over here. And I dyed it, and I think so. By dyeing it, I think what I did wrong, I say in the video on this, that the bone was bad, but I used a dye for synthetic and not what they call an all-purpose dye. So I would recommend an all-purpose dye. So why don't we grab our pocket worns? Let's see, compare. Well, let's just go ahead and nice snap. We'll compare the blades. Rough Rider's most likely in 440. You can see a bit of some stepping. This one's a bit more smooth. And let's get into the bone. So I suspect this amber bone was a lot like my red bone. We'll get it out in just a second. And over time, because I can tell just because of this line here, the ring, it's worn. So we'll compare that. And maybe you can see the wear. In there. Let's compare these bones. And maybe you can see the pocket worn. It's got a little bit of a crack. It doesn't seem to be moving. You can see that. And starting to sweat here, like 95 degrees. Oh, why don't we compare these two? This is a case. This is the, oh, I forget, Canyon JIG Hunter Green. And what they do there is they not only give you a swell center, which the swell would come whoop, it also goes whoop, and you get a nice chunk. And I think I'm going to keep the case out as a carry and a comparison knife. Okay, excellent spring action, and that's not too bad. Like I said, a little lazy there, but I completely expect when I get it, if you were to break it in, you can see it's going to have better action. I was going to shoot a separate video, but I'm going to keep them out because I'm going to bring out just a couple more what we'll call jackknives. That would be the Boker, and that was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. And this is a case 6232, and we'll get that out. And I did dye that one, and we're gonna call that one, what are we calling that? Kind of a cranberry orange. So look for the video on this. May or may not be out yet. Picked this one up for $50. It's got CV blade steel. I want to say it's about a 2005, and I just got it out so you guys can see kind of a size comparison. If you watch the video on this Boker jackknife, I really had trouble with it. This little tool had fantastic snap, and this thing had none. And there's no half stop there. And finally, after lots of WD-40 and lots of work in it, we have some, what would you call it? Some action. So a nice little screwdriver, cap lifter. We got stepping. I paid $22.50 for this. Let's see. And it's finally getting a tiny bit of spring action. So anyways, guys, those are kind of my jackknives. Of course I have others, but the smaller style, and just kind of have those two out to show you for size, how they compare. And we'll wrap things up. Thanks for joining the Miner.